Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for hopping on with us tonight. This is one of my all-time favorite topics. Back to school is, for all of us, a high time when illness can strike. My family is homeschooled. For those of you who don't know me, my name is McKenna Pruitt. I'm an Emerald with Plexus, and I have 4 kiddos that we school from home. But every year at this time, school groups with co-ops and classrooms, church, all of it, we start to see sickness trickle in. And I've already heard this year already of some things that are popping up. So what are some ways for us to be proactive, to know the benefits of our products so we can be well armed? And I know for a lot of us, we know people, maybe even some of us, we aren't even all the way fully bounced back post COVID. And maybe some of our kids aren't either. Some of those young ones may not have fully developed a great immune system during all the shutdowns and stuff like that. So we're going to look at what our products can offer for every one of us, kids to the grownups. And of course, for Plexus being the premier gut health company, we would be amiss if we didn't first mention ProBio 5. So for many of you, you know the benefits of having a good probiotic on hand, but Plexus is so well known for gut health because our probiotic is not only filled with great beneficial microbes that go in and populate the gut, but it's actually a 3-in-1 product with digestive enzymes that help break down some of the bad stuff in your gut, as well as an antifungal. So anything, the bad yeast, the bad stuff in your gut, this is going to help break that up. My family gives this to our kiddos every night before bed. We have seen such a benefit from this. One of my kiddos, from pretty much birth through his first year, was on an antibiotic nearly every month. And it destroyed his immune system. He had so many infections during that time. He had horrible eczema. His little body just went haywire. And his asthma was so bad that he was going to be put on breathing treatments when he was about 18 months old. And instead, I asked our provider, because my husband had tried this and it had worked so well for his asthma, if we could try this with our son until the next appointment. And we went back 3 months later. And she thought we had gone to another provider and started breathing treatment somewhere else, because she said she couldn't detect any sign of asthma when she listened to his lungs. And I said, no, we've just been doing this for 3 weeks. So she was amazed. And not only can it help with existing health issues, but it really does bolster the gut. He has not needed an antibiotic since we started this product. And so it's just helped us keep our healthy levels regulated throughout the year. And so, of course, illness sometimes will strike, but that's the first product that we are head over heels about. In the 9 years we've been taking Plexus products, we do not miss that one. And that is a daily must for everyone in our family. Along with that, in our gut health line, we have BioCleanse. We get this big bottle for our family, but it is our magnesium supplement. With our probiotic, many of you know, if you Google gut health plus any symptom, any illness, so much will pop up because gut health is connected to so much. Our immunity, 80% of it is in our gut. And if you Google magnesium as well and see what systems does it benefit, it's the same thing. It ties into so much, it benefits so much. But what's interesting about our magnesium supplement, again, it has additional ingredients with it. It has sodium in there and it has vitamin C. So when it gets into the body, it reacts to create, sometimes we call it a scrubbing bubbles. It's almost like it goes into your digestive tract like scrubbing bubbles, and it kind of cleans it out. So for BioCleanse, a lot of people are sometimes a little bit leery of this product because of the word cleanse in it. It's not like a typical cleanse where it's pushing everything out of your body. It's just a gentle daily way to keep things flowing. When the ProBio 5 goes in and breaks up all that bad stuff, the BioCleanse comes in and pushes it away. So it's like sweeping out all the bad in your system. very gently. For any of our kiddos, if ProBio 5 didn't handle any kind of constipation issues, this will knock it right out. We have so many friends who've been able to get off Miralax and different really harsh laxatives thanks to this product. But for immunity's purposes, if you think about that scrubbing bubbles effect, what happens when that's going on is an oxygenating effect. And if you know anything about oxygen, illness does not survive in an oxygenated environment. So not only is it going through your digestive tract, but it's going into your blood, your arteries, and it's making it really hard for illness to want to survive while this is in your body. So this is something for our kiddos we do as well occasionally in times of sickness or if they're having more digestive issues, and it just goes so well hand in hand with the ProBio 5. If your kiddos don't like swallowing capsules, and my kids threw our bottle away, but we have a chewable for the kids, and my kids love to throw that in because it just tastes so good. It's a tropical flavor. It tastes like sweet tarts. A lot of our kids who've grown up on Plexus think of it as candy. And it is a probiotic as well. So for the little kids that may have trouble with capsules, we recommend that. It's the X Factor Kids, but it also is a multivitamin combined. So if you have some kids that it's hard to get them to take stuff, this is a great 2-in-1 combo product. And it has the probiotic and the multivitamin to kind of cover any gaps in nutrition. And that helps with immunity so much as well. For our kids, we do open the capsule before they're able to swallow, and it's so easy to put it into yogurt or something that they'll be happy to take, like the drink I'll talk about in a minute. But the chewable is a great option as well. And again, great to double up on both of those. The one thing about the vitamins Plexus has to offer, so the kids chewable, and then the adult version for all the moms and dads out there is the X Factor Original or X Factor Plus. They are really special because they contain B vitamins in there that are what we call methylated. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term or aren't familiar with the reasoning behind why it's important to have B vitamins be methylated, there are some people whose bodies are born with their detox pathways kind of jammed up. They have a little bit of trouble getting stuff out. And so for people with that, it's called a MTHFR. It's a gene mutation. People who have that, it's actually very detrimental to take a synthetic B vitamin because it just jams up those pathways even more so. And so for people who oftentimes will start a multivitamin and feel like they're getting sicker, that may be one of the reasons. So I'm so thankful Plexus has methylated its vitamins in all the products we're going to talk about tonight. And this is actually a very common gene mutation that I've come across with a lot of people. So the other great thing with the X Factor vitamin for the adults especially is it contains aloe. And this, I know for any of you who've taken this, you can feel pretty quickly an immediate energy lift. On Sunday mornings, if I'm sitting in church and I start to nod off, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, oh, I forgot my X Factor. I never have an issue with that. If I've had my X Factor, it's very energizing. It's very, just gives you that boost and that lift. And part of that's the B vitamin. Part of it is how bioavailable things are. Plexus has chosen so many great nutrients in their best form for your body to not just digest it in your digestive tract, but then to send it on into the cells. And as it's doing that, the aloe blend that is in here, if you know anything about the aloe plant, it is a very healing plant. And God made it to where it can detect where there is illness or where there is inflammation. And it will actually go to the zip code where the inflammation is existing. So as you are taking these capsules, these vitamins can go into your body where the aloe sees it's needed. And it just is a great way for your body to take all that in and absorb it. All right, it also has black currant in it, which is similar in some ways to elderberry. It's a powerful antioxidant. And so again, great for illness fighting. This is when my older kids, if I can get them to swallow capsules of this as well during illness season, I'll have them double up on that as well. All right, this is the last kid specific product that I will talk about tonight. This is our Mega Kids, and some of my packaging is the older packaging, but they are all taste just as great. Mega Kids is so great for back to school. Not only does it have a lot of good additional nutritional things that fill the gaps, and as I know, we're getting back into school, sometimes it's busy and it's hard to be hitting those nutritional goals right on point. And so this fills some of that. But what's so neat is that the nutrients in this are brain specific. They are brain focused. And so for my family, we have some kids who have some sensory needs. We have some kids with some ADHD tendencies, learning disability tendencies, focus different struggles across the board with those things among our 4 kids. And this drink, it's a tropical tasting drink that I love. I will just sometimes even drink it, swipe one of theirs just for the flavor of it. It's so good. But it helps their ability to focus so much, and it helps their ability to just center into themselves. Some of the ingredients in this, the 3 brain health components, are choline, which is usually found in things like eggs. But what's interesting to me is it's a big component in breast milk. When these new babies are drinking their mother's milk, there's lots of choline in there because it's helping those brain synapses form. It's helping the connections form. It's helping their brain actually grow and thrive. And so having additional measures of this for our kiddos who may need some additional brain support is just incredible. We also have in there, let's see, I have crazy amounts of notes. We have lutein, which comes from kale. Again, I don't have great luck getting my kids all 4 to eat a lot of kale. Maybe you're like me, but it helps with memory and cognitive processing speed. And so to get a little extra dose of this can help. Any of us could use some of that these days, but especially kiddos who have learning struggles. And the last one is DHA, which is an omega-3. It's a fatty acid. And our brain is actually, I think 25% of our brain is made up of this. And so just adding that support in, again, so much good brain health. But it helps with increased attention span, social function, and emotional issues. And all of these 3 ingredients together are really great in calming stress in the brain. And not only does it make for a much better learning environment when you can relieve some stress, but stress is a huge factor also in our body's ability to fight off illness. So this is a huge boost also as we are talking immunity. Don't forget to look into this one and see if you might have some things that benefit you there. An additional product that we have that you may not think of right off the bat for an immune health is our new sleep gummies, which my family has just loved. But what is so interesting about the sleep gummies is just helping with sleep can help your body's ability to fight off illness. If you are sleep deprived, your body cannot do the functions that it needs to do. But when we look deeper at the ingredients, so we have 5 milligrams of melatonin in our sleep gummies. For my kiddos, we do give this to them. This is something that our pediatrician had even recommended to one of our kiddos at one point, but we just give them a quarter to a half of a gummy depending on our kiddos' ages. So that's something you might want to ask your health providers if that's right for you. But if you research melatonin, this is something that's actually being studied and used in treatment of illnesses today. So I saw several studies of it maybe being a helper in treating COVID, lots of other autoimmune issues. So melatonin itself is a great immunity booster. And then it also has an herbal blend with ashwagandha, GABA, L-tryptophan, and lemon balm. And I don't have time tonight to go into all of them, though I would love to, but every single one of those also has immunity boosting properties. So this is a great one to remember as well. Just if you need a little help sleeping, our body is going to fight off infection and disease so much better when we're rested. But this is an additional support as well, just with the ingredients alone on the immune scale spectrum. I have some kids that have a lot of trouble shutting their brains off at night. And man, this has been so great. I've also seen several people noticing weight loss with this. The stress of the last few years, weight is just kind of melting off of some people. So that's been interesting, not necessarily one that the kids might need, but for the rest of you, it's good to keep in mind. And then should illness strike, there are a couple of products that I hope you all keep in mind. The first one is our Hydrate. This is something that's been really fascinating for me to learn about. This is our cucumber melon flavor that's a limited edition. I think it's still available, but probably not for much longer. And then we have a couple of other great flavors as well. But just like with sleep, hydration is so important in just managing your body systems, being able to fight off illness, to function at your best. And so staying hydrated is so important. And you can drink as much water as you can chug, but if it doesn't have electrolytes in it, like we talked about with the bioavailability and being able to absorb, your cells cannot absorb it. And so we have to have good electrolytes in order for our cells to take in that hydration. But again, the ingredients in the Hydrate, we all know when you've got a kid with a stomach bug, some kind of illness, you up the hydration. But we have vitamin C in here, we have tart cherry, we have zinc, we have so many good ingredients that again help with immune support. So in addition to just having them drinking teas or orange juice or anything that you would think would help with hydration and vitamin C, this is a huge benefit to keep on hand in those times. And in addition to that, I love the flavor. I think it can be kind of hard to find. Yeah, somebody said so much healthier. It can be hard to find clean electrolyte drinks. And some of the closest ones I have found have B vitamins that are not methylated, or they have a lot of sugar. And side note, sugar is terrible for your immune system. I've seen some studies that when you consume sugar, it suppresses your immune system for 6 hours. So think about the times we're consuming the most sugar. Back to school, I know there's some, parties and sugar, and I think that's a big component. But once we hit Halloween and then the holidays, notice where most of our illness tends to stay around, and it's in those high sugar times. So very thankful Plexus keeps all of its products below sugar, and that's another bonus, another benefit to all these wonderful ingredients. And then the last one that I kind of was nerding out on today, because I hadn't really done a deep dive on all of the ingredients. And this is, again, the old branding because I had a lot of it. But the Immune Plus is something that I will not ever travel without again. I will not ever not have it on hand because it is too powerful of a support. My family does not take this daily, but I think when sick season starts cropping up, which if any of y'all know medical professionals or have seen people talking about it on social media, we already have some of the dreaded illnesses going around. Even the dreaded C word is going back around. So this is something, if you know it's in your area, you might add it to your plate, add it to your routine. But Immune Plus, it has mushrooms and it has superfoods. And so it helps to stimulate your natural immune response. Some of the superfoods in here, onion, garlic, elderberry, turmeric, these are like direct fighters of viruses and bacteria. A lot of you have seen, like if you eat garlic or if you have an ear infection, you put an onion on your ear. Those things work because they are so powerful and they're great illness fighters. And those are some of the superfoods in here. So you're getting a great dose of that. They've done studies on our Immune Plus clinical trials, and our body has 5 types of free radicals. And this clinically has been proven to reduce all 5 types of free radicals. So everything that comes against your body systems, all those bad things that are fighting against you, this covers every single type of those, which I think is just amazing. There's an ingredient in here called andrographis, which is a plant that reduces cold and flu symptoms. And so a lot of people were taking that back when we were having big issues previously. And then mushrooms, one thing that is interesting to me about mushrooms is that they grow on plants as the plants are decaying. And what's happening is they're taking all the last nutritional value out of those plants as they help them to decompose. And so what's happening is they're sucking up all the goodness that the last of those plants have to offer. And these have been shown, a lot of people use them in their cancer treatment arsenals, but they are just so good for fighting all kinds of illness. And so I'm so thankful Plexus put 2 kinds of mushroom in here. Last year during flu season, we actually had a kid end up in the ICU, and it was so scary. But if we had had this on hand, I know for sure I would have been pumping her full of this because the last, I would say ever since then, since we've been home back with our Immune Plus, any little tickle we get or any little, feeling off, little sore throat, we will take this and it is gone the next day. So I am a huge believer in Immune Plus, love it so much. And it's another one, again, not to maybe take daily necessarily, but it is safe to take daily as well. So something to think about as you're looking into all the supports you want to have on hand this school year. And for the family, from young to old, can all be taking it. But as we're back to school, not just immunity necessarily is the benefit of back to school. And Carissa is going to share a little bit of how we can maximize some of that freshness of routine and new rhythms.
Yes. So back to school can bring a host of germs with it, but I'm going to talk about how it can also bring a lot of new stresses and a lot of jumbling up of the routines and just a lot of changes. And so I'll confess right here, my kids started school last week and my husband started his full-time doctor job. We just finished med school and residency. And I confess, I had a breakdown. I had a day where I had to cry and I had to talk it out with him and figure out how we were going to get it better because I just could not see how the day could go better than that first day. So we titled this call, wellness hacks for back to school time. And that, of course, is going to include a lot of plexus, but it also comes back to our mind and it comes back to creating space to think our thoughts and to reflect and then gain wisdom, because wisdom is gained by reflection and carving out time to think through how things are going and make tweaks. So we're going to have grace for the adjustment period. My first day with the kids back at school was rough. And I needed to give myself a little time to tweak and find those new rhythms. So I am going to chat through a few products that are going to help us big people, especially with all of these adjustments. But first, I just want to give a few hacks, a few practical tips. The goal here is we want to live our life with intention, purpose, and peace. And we don't want to live lives of stress. That's not what we were created to do. That's not the Psalm 23 promise that God says is possible for you, not just for superhero Bible people, but for you too. And so what I advise is that you take an honest log of what you spend your time doing in the days, write it down. And what I want you to ask yourself once you've done that, nothing crazy, but just write down, this is what I did from 6 to 7 a.m. This is what I did from 7 to 8. This is what I did from 8 to 9, and really get it out on paper. And what I would challenge you to ask yourself is just gaining some awareness and just asking yourself, where are the siphons? You know what siphon is? Like when something is just siphoning the gas out of your car. Where are the times where time is just being siphoned away and it's disturbing your peace? What actually truly needs to be done? What needs to be delegated and what needs to be deleted? And I know sometimes delegating feels too overwhelming because you have to teach someone else how to do the thing, but it's how you invest because you buy back your time later. And then another thing I want to challenge you on is, how are you thinking about it? What words are you using to describe your situation? I find that when I say, whoo, I have a full week this week, or I have a full day today versus, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, my day is so packed, I get into a headspace that spirals me down really, really quick. I would also encourage you to pray over that piece of paper and ask God, what does he honestly have for you? What does he honestly have for you? And that it's okay to wholly subtract, that it's okay to release things that don't need to be on your plate. And then another couple little challenges I just want to throw out there is, ask yourself, who do I want to spend my time with? Because when I look at my schedule, when I look at it all out on that paper and I realize I'm spending an awful lot of time with so-and-so, or sometimes the who is really certain news feeds or certain. So who do I want to spend my time with? And also ask yourself, when will I read? I think it's very important to make sure that we are renewing our mind and our heart. So when will I read? For me, I have to turn that phone on sleep mode at a certain time at night and go analog. And just no more screen. It's time to consume information on paper. And I recommend one book per priority, because a lot of us have the overwhelming stack where we've got 30 personal growth books and spiritual growth books and gardening and cooking and home design. But I recommend that you narrow it down to one book per priority. They're going to be the first one you want to read. And those are the ones that can sit on your bedside there. And that's how you can wind down for the night. So just a few little tips there. But let's launch into some products real quick. So first one I want to share with you about is the Slim. Now, I am not going to go line by line on the ingredients for you guys, because Plexus has put together information sheets on every product that contain every feature, every benefit, every ingredient, every FAQ, and all of the clinical trials that support the use of those ingredients in that product. They're fabulous. I'm not here to reinvent that wheel. So what I'm here to do is give you some of the basics on what each product can do for your life, especially in this season, this back to school season, and maybe just a fun little extra for each one. So hopefully you know that Slim's job is to balance your blood sugar, stabilize your blood sugar levels. And when you stabilize your blood sugar, you stabilize insulin, and insulin acts as a master hormone, and it has this magical effect on all your other hormones. It takes you out of fat storage mode. It helps with your cycles. It reduces your stress. It calms your cravings down. It gives you sustained energy instead of that crash and dip and crash and rise and crash all day. Also, real fun fact, it can help with milk supply, again, because of that master hormone influencing all the other hormones. Some of the star ingredients are alpha lipoic acid, chromium, and chlorogenic acid. So this is going to be huge for anybody, but especially people whose blood sugar is tenuous. Okay, next one I want to chat with y'all about is active. Oh, and I wrote down, if you feel like a mom bee, or if you feel like every day is Groundhog Day, you need to be on the Slim, or you could mix your Slim and active. This is my favorite little treat, right? So active, let's talk about that one. This is going to be for your clean energy, your pre-workout, and it's going to come with brain benefits. It also really helps with cell renewal, and it helps increase nitric oxide. And if you don't know what that is, increasing nitric oxide is going to improve your exercise. It's going to improve your sex life. It's going to improve your neuro processes, and it's going to be helpful with pain. So nitric acid, good. And it is said to increase it by up to 230%. So active is way more than just an energy drink. And here's the thing, guys. Everybody drinks energy drinks. Maybe not everybody, but like literally so many people drink multiple energy drinks a day, and they're buying trash from the gas station and from vending machines. And you could save their life by telling them about active. So it also has a lot of superfoods in it. So like we're talking not just clean, but like super foods in there. And it's going to help with your focus, your endurance, and it's going to be jitter-free without a crash. The next one I want to share with you. Do you know about MetaBurn? Do you take MetaBurn? Does anybody take MetaBurn? So it's a little different than active. It's still going to have those energizing benefits. It's going to bring a gentle mood lift that is very noticeable, and it is like instant, you guys. It's like 10 minutes. And that comes from adaptogen herbs. There are so many herbs in this product that are called adaptogens, and adaptogens work as a natural balancer. They find where you are out of balance and help bring you back to equilibrium. It's very supportive to your adrenals and thyroid, and it's going to boost your calorie burn. It's going to help you burn more calories. It also actually is proven to target stubborn white fat, like belly fat, some of that really dangerous fat that is hard to get off. So we love MetaBurn, and my little magical cocktail when I want to feel really good, really fast is Slim and Active mixed, and then pop a MetaBurn with that. So if you really want to be Wonder Woman, I recommend. Lean. Okay, so Lean is 15 grams of pure hormone-free protein. It has a complete amino acid profile. It is also methylated, so that folate in there is methylated. And there's nothing artificial, no artificial sweeteners, no gluten, no GMOs, no soy. A lot of proteins out there have a lot of trash in them. But a couple of fun facts about eating more protein. If you eat more of your calories each day from protein, you will likely burn almost 100 calories more just from more of your calories coming from protein. And you will likely eat about 400 calories less because of how satiating and filling it is. Of course, it's going to increase your muscle mass, it's going to help cut your cravings, and it's going to help reduce your snacking tendencies. So lean for the win. And by the way, it's really great for on the go, which I know a lot of us are more on the go than we maybe were in the summer. At least I have been. Okay, let's also chat about greens. I don't know if any of you have been buying this in your regular subscription, but may I suggest that you add it back because, again, on the go, source of some of the absolute healthiest ingredients you can get into your body. And it's so much faster than cutting up a pan of vegetables, roasting them in olive oil, 450 degrees. It's 100 degrees in Arkansas right now. I don't want to roast vegetables in my oven right now. But not just any vegetables. Okay. So these greens have organic, fermented vegetables, fruits, and herbs. And super fun fact about herbs are like fresh herbs, parsley and basil and stuff. Those are actually more nutrient dense than like broccoli and kale. Like if you are getting green veggies from herbs, you are getting the most nutrient dense form of green vegetable you can. So I love that Plexus included herbs. They also included kombucha and apple cider vinegar, two extremely gut supporting ingredients. So super rock star on the greens. No sugar, none, by the way. And then two more, guys. I don't have a bottle of it, and I really need to go buy one because, as I said, had a little breakdown last week, but Vital Biome is the second probiotic that we carry. ProBio 5 is kind of the core probiotic that's designed to weed harmful organisms out of your gut and lay a baseline of all the good stuff. But Vital Biome is a little bit special. So Vital Biome is proven to reduce stress and tension because it has several strains of what are called psychobiotics. So these are microbes that are proven to help with feelings of stress, tension, anger, depression, all of those things. So you're going to see a mood increase with Vital Biome, relaxation. This is because 70% of your immune cells reside in your gut, and 90% of your serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone, is produced in your gut. 90% of your serotonin. And it's not 90%, but there's a significant amount of your GABA and your dopamine that are also produced in your gut. So it's no joke. The gut-brain connection is no joke. And then last but not least, I just really want to encourage, if you are trying to get back on the wagon, if you're coming out of summer and you're trying to get back in the routine of all the things, and you know that Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas are looming ahead, and you know that you tend to gain 10, 15, 20 pounds around that time, I just can't stress enough how helpful it is to take control now, to just go, hey, I'm going to have my lean shake. I'm going to have my greens. I'm going to start each new month off with a 3-day reset. If you're not familiar with the reset, it's a 3-day nutritionally supported fast. So it's going to give your body the benefits of fasting minus the stress of starvation. You're going to be taking 8 different products throughout the day. And in total, it delivers you 77 grams of protein if you're drinking the lean with milk, which I do. 77 grams of protein. To be honest, that's more than I get on a normal day. And that really needs to change because protein is so, so important for you. So it's going to deliver nourishment minus the excess. And you'll do that for 3 days and put your body in a fasted state. And it'll give your gut a rest, your digestion a rest. It'll reset your gut. It'll reset your metabolism. And to be quite frank, it also resets my mindset. It gets me out of certain ruts, certain habits, certain lazy tendencies that maybe I get myself into. And so I find that having that a part of my rhythm, while I may not, what's the statistic, guys? I think the studies showed that people lose about 1% body fat on a 3-day reset in the clinical trial. And you may be thinking, well, 1%, that's not that much. But what happens is it creates a domino effect. So if I have that part of my rhythm every single month, I just bring the brain back into discipline, and I bring the habits back into discipline, and I give my gut a rest and a reset. That domino effect is incredible. And there are so many people, Lisa Atkinson, Gina Tidwell, people have been doing 1 reset a month for a whole year, and it's a total transformation. So I just want to encourage us to be weaving that in, and it'll really, I think, help us find more time in our day and more space for what's important, and just get ourselves feeling tip top. So that is all that we had to share with you guys tonight. Back to school wellness hacks. So thank you everybody for being on. We'll get this recording out. You can share it with anybody you please. And anyone who wants to stick around, we have our leadership training here at 7:45. Same link. Okay. Bye, friends.